Oh, it was an incredible experience. I've told this many times, but but I really genuinely believe it that she is a fine director, and I don't think anyone needs to debate about the fact that she's definitely one of the best actors in the country, right? So on Tejas, when I worked with her for the first time, she was just Kangana ma'am, the actor, Kangana Ranaut, the star. Especially coming from Kerala, I think a lot of us is what have studied and dissected Anurag Kashyap's films more than maybe people from other parts of the country. I think there's a huge fan base that Anurag Kashyap has in Kerala, and even before coming into cinema, films like Gangzo Asipur, films like Devdi, Black Friday. These are films that were cutting edge and way ahead of the pack when they were made. I'm a huge film buff, Sonal, so there's a lot of genres that I really enjoy that I want to be a part of. Science fiction is on the top of the list right now. I'm a big nerd. I'm a geek when it comes to science fiction, and I want to be a part of some science fiction projects for sure. Next would be, of course, footage immediately. But other than that, Emergency is coming out on OTT sometime in March. Then I have the series that I did with Netflix that YRF produced. Very excited about that. Again, like I said, it's a very gentle, lover boy, romantic kind of a character. What excited me towards this project was that I think this is somewhere in the middle of it being a very grungy kind of a film, which is what normally a found footage film looks like, and a true cinematic experience. So I think this was a found footage film made for the theaters, for a cinematic experience, and that's what sets about footage from other found footage films. But it's a genre that I personally really like. There are a lot of international films that I really like that are in this genre. Blair Witch Project being the one big film that really put found footage films on the map. There's a superhero film called Chronicle, which is a found footage film as well. So it's normally a technique that's used in like thriller, horror kind of movies. And just like that in footage as well, we have a lot of action and thrill elements and things like that as well. So very excited to see how the audience is going to react to that. In a found footage film, the basic logic is that one of the characters in the film is shooting, a piece of footage, and that footage then is, after whatever happens in the film, found by the cops or by other people, and then when they watch the film is when the film comes on the screen. That's the story behind the story for every found footage film. So that said, I think in terms of the shooting process as such for this particular film, we needed a lot of choreography between the camera team and the actors, because a lot of times my character will be shooting the scene and my co-actor will be performing. There'll be places where I'll hand over the camera to her. There'll be places where we leave the camera somewhere and then I have to go pick it up at a later point. So that was very, very, very interesting. So we'd have to handle the camera sometimes, we'd have to hand it over, then we'd have to take it back, especially in the action scenes. When the audience sees the action scenes, I'm sure they'll be scratching their head thinking how they did this, because it's very complex. And just like, because it's a found footage film, it's not technically edited. It's like you take your phone and you go to your gallery and you click videos and you play video 1 and then you just play video 2, video 3, video 4, video 5. So there may not be a direct traditional connection between each scenes, so it's like looking at someone's gallery. So because of that, each scene, let's say, each is one clip, so we've treated as though each scene is one take. So that's the technical brilliance that the team has put behind it. Yeah, there's a lot of travel vloggers that I really enjoy. There's this, I'm not sure if there are a couple, but there's this team who does a lot of traveling in the Himalayas. Bharti and something is their name. I forget their name exactly, but I really like their videos. I mean, there's something that I really enjoy. And nowadays, I think there's so many of them. There's so many of these content creators who make stories about their daily lives. My character and my partner in the film, her character, where we are characters who focus on stories that are dark, in some way, like a house just make murder hua tha. In this other house, jahan pe there's this haunted case, there's a ghost that people have seen, so scary stories like that is what they focus on. So it's that kind of vlogging that they do. Absolutely. I think privacy is an issue in everybody's life now, because especially with social media, everyone is sharing everything about their personal lives, no? So I think it's a very tricky place now because we're all leaving a digital footprint online, which might turn problematic in the future. We never know, right? So the problem of data privacy is another thing that at least in India we're all very much concerned about on a very nascent stage. So yeah, I think it's a real issue, and privacy is at the center, at the core of what footage is all about. It's about, the moral of the story at the end of the day is don't infringe on other people's privacy, be it for the sake of making content or be it for the sake of whatever it is, when you infringe on someone's privacy, that comes with a cost, is what the film is trying to say. Oh, it was an incredible experience. I've told this many times, but I really genuinely believe it that she is a fine director, and I don't think anyone needs to debate about the fact that she's definitely one of the best actors in the country, right? So on Tejas, when I worked with her for the first time, she was just Kangana ma'am, the actor, Kangana Ranaut, the star, that was very different from Kangana Ranaut, the actor, writer, director, producer on Emergency, I think she's a very smart, very intelligent director who knows how to get the best out of every actor. I think that's her biggest skill set. Her being an actor herself, I think she really knows how to squeeze that performance out of you. So I think it was an incredible experience. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from the kind of work ethics that she brought onto the set. I'm a person who holds dreams of one day directing my own film as well. So to see someone do that and do it so well. That was very inspiring to me. Yes, Tanu, it's Manu too. No, I've thought about it. I have a few screenplays ready. I've been pitching it to people, and that process is happening on the side. But I'm also enjoying this journey as an actor. So I'm not putting too much pressure on myself. I'm a person who believes that things will happen when they're meant to happen. And all we can do is to, keep putting in the work, and it'll happen someday. So yeah, I think it's baby steps. Yeah, a lot of it. I mean, especially coming from Kerala, I think a lot of it is what I've studied and dissected Anurag Kashyap's films more than maybe people from other parts of the country. I think, there's a huge fan base that Anurag Kashyap has in Kerala. And even before coming into cinema, films like Gangzo Asipur, films like Devdi, Black Friday, these are films that were cutting edge and way ahead of the pack when they were made. And he continues to inspire. I think he's a person who speaks his mind, and he has absolute clarity regarding a lot of things. And I really admire and respect that in the man. Oh yeah, it was very bad. It was very, very, very bad. So in 2020, I had a production house that I was running in Kerala. We were doing ads and things like that in addition to acting. Like when the lockdown came, we had to close down the company. We had to, there was a financial loss that we had to incur. We had to start from scratch. Almost a year and a half, I was sitting at home without any major film, work coming my way because the film industry also really slowed down. But the only good thing that happened out of it, for me personally, is that, the audition process from Bombay went online. So the Mumbai audition scene, which had, Mukesh Abra casting and anti-casting and casting bay and all of these people, they started entertaining online auditions or auditions where you self-test and you send in the material. I think that's how I got my foot in the door in Bollywood. That's how Tejas happened. That's how Shabash Mintu happened. And from then on, things have been much smoother, I feel. I did lose some people who were very close to me. My close friends did lose members of their family. So I don't think it was all happiness, but that's life. I mean, you need to see the silver lining sometimes. I honestly don't know if I'm the right person to answer that question, because YouTube does give us an option of self censorship. Like when you upload a video, you can tick if that video is meant for kids or not. So, right. So I think that level of responsibility has to come, with regards to content creation for the content creators themselves. I think it has to start from there, because the platform itself is providing like an option for us to, give that intimation to the audience that, ye video, this is not meant for like a family audience. So I think it starts from there. I don't know if we can just go ahead one particular day and decide that, okay, from tomorrow onwards it's going to be censorship for YouTube. It's not such a easy process, because it's a framework that's been set in place internationally. So for YouTube to change those laws just for India, that's also a very complicated process. So I think baby steps first. I think content creators have to be responsible when it comes to putting up the kind of content they're putting up, and make sure that they're, telling the audience that, okay, this is sensitive content, this is explicit content, and I think that's where, it should start. Oh, there are a lot of genres there. Thank you for asking me genre, and instead of asking me what kind of roles you want to play. I'm a huge film buff, so there's a lot of genres that I really enjoy, that I want to be a part of. Science fiction is on the top of the list right now. I'm a big nerd. I'm a geek when it comes to science fiction, and I want to be a part of some science fiction projects for sure. So anyone from the team of Kalki, if you're listening, please, but that said, the science fiction is one. Action films is something that I'm really enjoying doing now, because I think action films is what first got me excited and interested in cinema. When I started making short films, and when we used to just play around with the small, Sony Cybershot camera as kids, it was always the action films that really got our blood pumping. So now when I'm doing it on the big screen, I'm, finding that very exciting. So science fiction, action films. I would love to do. I would love to do some more romantic, light-hearted stuff as well, because I think there's been a trend of negative characters that has been coming to me. So I want to show that side of myself as well. Next would be, of course, footage immediately. But other than that, Emergency is coming out on OTT sometime in March. Then I have the series that I did with Netflix that YRF produced. Very excited about that. Again, like I said, it's a very gentle, lover boy, romantic kind of a character. So I'm excited to show that side of my performance to the audience as well. So that's called Akka. I think that will be coming out later this year. They haven't announced the exact date, but we did put out a small teaser kind of a thing earlier a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, that's what's up. Malayalam is the next project that's on the cards. It's a very interesting project. Shankar Ehsan Loy is doing the music for that film for the first time ever in Malayalam. So I'm very excited about that film as well. That's an action comedy kind of a thing. So that's what's up.